Hey, so I just looked at my calendar and it appeared to me that it's been 3 months since the last time I ever masturbated and relapsed on November. It was on August 26th. Today of recording this video, it's November 26th, and it's been exactly 3 months of overcoming that addiction. Now, a month ago, I made a video about talking my experience, what benefits I saw abstaining for 60 days. Today, I'd like to make an updated version and add more things on top of those mentioned previously to kind of give you the idea what things you could expect at different stages of your journey of quitting pornography and lust. Hi, my name is Marius. I am a med student and a suicide hotline volunteer, and I was addicted to porn and lust for 10 years. This journey that I document is actually my own personal journey of quitting porn and quitting lust. And on that journey, as well as coaching others, I share all the knowledge that I get for free. If you'd like my personal help to be your guide or to hold you accountable, you can message me in the free community, to which you will find the link down below. So I didn't even plan to make this into the script, but the events that happened just a couple of days ago, just a week ago, totally changed my view on beating porn addiction. I don't know how to explain it. I'm going to try, but somehow I just got luckier. Just yesterday I had my last shift in the suicide hotline. I made a couple of pictures, and just a couple of days prior to that last shift, I got a message to my phone. A common practice is in these hotlines is that new students who are learning to pick up the phone and provide emotional support, they come and they are being supervised by a more experienced volunteer, in which case it was me. And I got this message asking if I could supervise them while we're picking up the phone. And as I said, it was a common practice. I didn't think anything of that. But as soon as I saw who was that person, I knew that this is going to be something different. You see, one of the reasons why I even went to the suicide hotline in the first place was to obviously help people, right? But it was also to find like-minded people who care about others and who are selfless. And among those people, I thought maybe I would be able to find a girlfriend or something. But throughout 2.5 years while I was volunteering, and throughout almost 3 years of volunteering plus going through training, I never even got a chance to ask anyone out. I just didn't really vibe with anyone that much, even though I made more friends in that suicide hotline than I ever did in med school. And it just so happened that on the last ever day for me at that suicide hotline, I fell in love from the first sight. I even took a sneaky picture of that girl. I just knew that even if I ask her out at the end of the shift and she says no, I'll still remember how she made me feel. And throughout the 3-hour shift, it was one of the warmest and cute hours of recent history. I was catching her glimpses checking me out. She was doing the same. One time while she was on the call, it was a difficult call, especially for someone new. She put her head on my shoulder. She broke the touch barrier. And as I said, I asked her out at the end of the shift. And she said yes. And now I'm planning to go on a date, even though right now I was on this monk mode season where I didn't even think about dating because I was so focused on just work and studies, and thought to myself that once I get money, once I buy an expensive car, then I can go and, get girls. But life and God works in mysterious ways. And here I am. And not just in this case. There happened a lot of things recently that I just can't believe how lucky I am. For a while, I wanted to write a research paper for my university to get extra points while getting into residency. And I was struggling for months to find a good case study or something like that. I went to the clinic that I was interested in. I asked for some case studies, but they weren't that interesting. And the other thing, it was so hard to find guidance on what actually should I do and how should I present those case studies at university, at conferences, for example. But it just so happened that at the exact day when I went and asked for these case studies, a girl approached me. She texted me. I knew her from a while ago while we were doing internship. She's on her last year of med school and she needs to write those research papers, these case studies as soon as possible. And so she contacted me and I said, hell yeah, count me in. I'll do anything as fast as possible. I'm interested in getting rid of this stuff as fast as possible. And so here I am. And I'm not entirely sure how can I explain that luck that I was receiving. I like to think that it's the gift from God. And also one aspect that I'd like to mention is that while being in love, for example, with the girl that I met yesterday, I've been there before. I've been so in love that I forgot to worship God and to make God my first priority. And so I'm not doing that right now. I learned my lesson. However, it ends up being the girl. I know that I won't be alone and that I have a mission and I have a purpose. And that feeling is just so assured. And by the way, when I was talking to that girl, I wasn't avoiding eye contact. I was able to actually listen to her and be present in the moment with her. I wasn't fidgety. I wasn't anxious. I was able to speak in that deep voice. And I think that was part of the charm while she agreed to go on a date with me. But even if you won't get the same experience as I got, you won't get lucky. One thing that I think is very important to mention is that right now I wasn't even looking. At this particular time, I was the least interested in finding a girlfriend than I ever was. And it's just ironic. Like, people say that once you stop looking, it appears. And rarely I experienced just that. I was busy with my studies and my work, and I was coaching other people, and I just had no time to really think about how lonely or miserable or single I am, which is kind of the point. I understand now what these people meant when they said that you kind of have to become happy yourself if you want to be happy with another person. All right, I'm just going in circles with this one. Now, this next thing is something that I know everybody will experience at some point or the other. You see, a lot of people think that quitting porn is just a very simple, even easy task to do. But if you look at from but if you expand your perspective, you can see that porn is not just like any other addiction. That's true that you can distance yourself, or you can install ad blockers and distance yourself from the triggers. But one thing you can do is you can't run away from the addiction in your mind. Like lust, you will be able to recreate those videos that you've seen in your mind. So to conquer lust, to conquer porn addiction, you kind of have to become the master of your body, of your mental side, of your spirituality, and so much more than just quitting a bad habit. I recently scrolled on one of porn addiction quitting coach's Instagram account, and he had this idea in one of his posts that porn addiction is just 5% of the journey. It's or 5% of the problem. And right now, I can understand that. Now, the good part about quitting porn is once you do that work that is required, you notice that you developed certain skills. You became a more mature person. You became more disciplined, right? You don't go to your toilet and take your phone with you because you know that it will trigger you. And so once you are able to reject the most primal, the strongest desire that a human being can possess, I think that opens a lot of doors. You start thinking, if I can do that, what else can I do? How much harder can I work? How much more I can improve my life? What other areas I was neglecting, I can pour my attention and work and make them work. For the time being, I was living with these thoughts in my head. How much more purposeful work can I do? And that's basically the most important benefits I've noticed after quitting porn and lust for 90 days. If you're looking for a community of Christian men trying to become more virtuous, if you want to find guidance and accountability for free, click the link in the description down below.